So I will now go ahead and tackle problem number 12, which of you find rather really confusing because of the join concept. So according to the question right here, as well as the table title, the column title that the professor has already given you, you know that it's gonna be involving the two entities, which are gonna be course and professor. So it's asking you to query out course name, ID, credit hour, and the professor name. And you know exactly from that moment it's going to be some kind of join going on right here. So the first step is that you're going to go ahead and just do select. And I'm going to go ahead and do all because I want to see all the column from the course table. So first all from course. And we're going to also go ahead and do select all from professor. I'm gonna go ahead and run them to see if I got everything correct, and I'm gonna go ahead and do another select to query out the information from the requirements. So you got like a CS course name, CSRID. Oh, sorry, CRSID, and just gonna go ahead and type in the things. So CRS course name is gonna be first. I don't know why course ID is first in this situation, but I'm just gonna go ahead and follow the format of the question. So it's gonna be CRS course name, comma, CRS ID underscore ID, credit hours, CRS underscore credit hours, and finally it's gonna be PR name, which gonna be from the table, the professor table right here. So go ahead and type in PR underscore name, and don't forget to do the from, and we're gonna stop right there for a little bit. So from this moment you may wonder where should what should be the next step. So what I would suggest you to do is go back to the table that's saying course and to see what's happening. So accordingly to the course table right here, you see that each course have a type of a professor ID that is assigned to that particular course, and you go to professor, you see also that professor ID is available right here. So because of that reason, you know that the two tables gonna be linked together by that particular primary keys and foreign key type of relationship. So in order to approach this problem, I would suggest you go to the save all from course table right here, and you see that there's some new value assigned to this course professor ID right here, and you're gonna need to include in your queries information on course that do not have the coordinator. So you're gonna query everything in this table that's gonna have the new value, which mean the course that doesn't have any professor assigned to them. So what I usually do is that I already prepare a file that have the information of both table, and I'm gonna go ahead to do a full outer join to see what's gonna be the result. Because the reason why I do a full outer join is that it's gonna queries out everything on the both on the left side as well as on the right side, including the new value. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the full outer join on the table right here. So I'm gonna do course full outer join with the right table, which is professor. and I'm gonna do on, because you know that this is gonna be like the ID you wanna link the two tables together. So I'm gonna go ahead and do CRS ID of PRID, so PRID equal to PRID, and I'm gonna go ahead and run the whole things. So as a result, you can see that the full outer join produce the setup on record in the left table, and also like from the right table with matching record from both sides were available. So for example, right here you see that if there's a match for both table, it's gonna return the instant with all of the info, all of the like a attribute right here. But if there's no match, on either table, you're gonna see the null value right here. So you are seeing that like the right table professor, if it doesn't have the professor assigned to an instant right here, it's gonna result it's gonna be resulting in a null value right here. And the same thing happened to the course table right here. You can see that like on the right table, full outer join return the value that it match the right table, which is professor with all the professor name, but this professor doesn't have any course already assigned to them. So that's pretty much how full outer join work. But you know that based on the question right here, they are asking us to return the information on the course that doesn't have the professor assigned to them. So based on the information that we already set out in the beginning, we're gonna do the left outer join in this for this question. So the purpose for the left outer join is that it's gonna produce a complete setup record from the left table, which everything right here, with the matching record where it's available in the professor table right here. So for example, when you see this course right here, everything on the left have a professor name from the right table assigned to them. So it's return a full complete instant with all the information available. But if like for example, if there is no match on the right table, it's gonna return only like the information from the left side and return a new value for the right side. Because of the concept that I just explained, the left and right outer join can be interchangeable. So for example, right here, I'm gonna switch the location between the course and the professor in this query right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put professor right here and course right here. I'm gonna do right outer join, and I'm gonna run the for one more time, and it's just gonna result in the information that looks exactly right the previous queries that we just did. So I just go ahead and switch it back to the original queries. And the key things for this problem is that you just need to know how to assign the left and the right tables. So in this example, I assign the course as the left table and the professor at the right table, because like accordingly to the question right here, I feel that it's easier when I look at the columns. I know exactly that's everything right here gonna be from the left, and the PR name is gonna be from the right. So it's gonna help you to feel less confused when you deal with this type of problem. And so to finish up with this problem, it's asking you right here to include a list of information on courses that do not have the coordinator. So going through everything right here, you see that these course already have the coordinator assigned to them, and we don't want that in our queries. So I'm just gonna go down here and see, and you see that there's a bunch of course right here that doesn't have a professor yet. So what I gonna do in this situation is that I'm gonna go ahead and type in the word where, and it's asking for courses doesn't have the professor assigned. So based on this column right here, I'm gonna go ahead and type in the word PR name. Please note to return all of the instance that doesn't have, I mean like a doesn't have like a new value. So when you click on this run button, you see that everything in this table is matching with the requirement that is listed in the question right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and remove all of the select queries right here, and as a result you're left with a complete queries that meet all the requirement for question number 12. So pretty much to recap everything, the step you're gonna need to do is that just go ahead and do the full audit. You're gonna go ahead and like create a Word file that have like a border table right here, so that you can easily see the link between the two of them. You're gonna do the full outer join in the beginning to see the overall picture of the left side and the right side. You're gonna, and based on how you arrange your table, you can do a left or right join, and finally, based on the the information that is listed right here, you're just gonna do it accordingly. And in this situation, I put a new value so that it's pretty much return the new value that is required by the problem, and that's how you approach all the problem that require you to do like a join. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how you're gonna break down the most scary problem for most students, which is number 14 right here. It does look scary because of the size of the problem. There's so many sentences, and also you may got confused because you don't know where to go. So please pause the videos right here and take a moment to look through everything on this problem, and go ahead and break it down for you. So I believe so far that you already getting the hang up like the requirement of the problem right here. And if you look down the hint right here, this query is going to be require the use of only one table. So going back to the the description right here, and you after reading through everything, you know that you're gonna query everything out from one table or entity, which gonna be the program table. So the first step that I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna query out everything from the like the program table. So after I write the queries right here and I run it, and I gonna go back to the question right here and see when is this asking. So it's asking to me list the program name, which is the major right here, and now require for a graduate degree. So where the number of hours required for the graduate degree is less than the number of hours required for undergraduate degree. So accordingly to the columns right here, you have the major, and after that it's gonna be like the undergraduate hour required, and it's gonna be the next thing is gonna be the graduate hour. And according to the problem, they are asking you to list the hours, which is right here, from the accordingly to the columns right here, graduate and undergraduate, which graduate hours gonna be less than the undergraduate hours. So the next thing is that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down right here and try to figure out like what's the problem gonna look like. So I double click on the program name to sort everything, and pretty much I'm gonna use accounting as an example right here. So after I sort the the table, I'm gonna use accounting as an example, and from what and I imagine that there's gonna be a table which gonna have 3 columns that accordingly to the information right here, you have the program name, which is the major as accounting, and I put right here. And next is going to be the undergraduate hour required. So based on the problem right here, you see that the undergrad hours gonna be 21, and the grad hours gonna be 12. And when you double check on the requirement right here, you see that like the undergraduate hour is less than the graduate hour. And this is the table that we're looking to create out for all the major, not only not all the major that is required right here. So in order to approach this problem, I would say that this problem is gonna be, a problem that kind of like making you confused because you're querying out everything from one table. So to make it less confused, what you're gonna need to do is that you're gonna copy everything right here and putting them on a separate, Word file, showing you that this problem is gonna be, a joining between, within only one table. So as a result, I have like the undergrad table and the graduate table. So far, they doesn't seem to have any difference between each other, but I'm gonna go explain it to you along the way. And back to the problem, pretty much based on the information that is provided for me. The first step we're gonna do is just, go ahead and type in the queries for everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and do select and program name prg underscore name, and next is asking me for the hour required for graduate degree. So from the two table right here, you're gonna go ahead and do prg hours required and also go down right here. I saw that there's gonna be another prg hour required, but this time it's gonna be for the graduate table. So just gonna go ahead and type in prg hour required as well. And since there's only one table, it's just gonna go ahead and type in the word form program. And for this type problem, that it's gonna be you're joining the information within one table. So what you're gonna do is that you're gonna split that table, kind of like clone that table into two copies, and give them different names. So what I'm gonna do is that, knowing that they're gonna be two program tables, so I'm just gonna go ahead and name them differently. So what I gonna do is I'm gonna name the first table for undergrad. I'm gonna name them under, or you can name them whatever you like, but in this case I just name them under to make it less confusing. And the next table is gonna be program once again because they're the same table. And I'm gonna do the grad for the graduate table right here. And so as a result, you're gonna go ahead and name the two columns right here to make the SQL program know that they're gonna queries where they're gonna query the information from. So I'm gonna go ahead and do under right here and program next to the second column. And to make everything even more easier to see, I just gonna, in this specific problem, I'm gonna go ahead and just do as right now to make this problem easier to see. So I'm gonna go ahead and do under hour, and you're gonna do the same thing for the program columns right here. And pretty much after I name everything, I'm gonna go ahead and run it, and it's returned me an error saying that like a column ambiguously defined. The problem is that when you go back to queries right here and you see PHP name, so SQL right now doesn't know where it belong, because when it look into both table right here, both of them have this, the same PHP name column. So as a result, you're gonna go back to the form right here and looking for where, like which table is it belong to. So you see that it's asking for the graduate degree. So you're gonna go ahead, go down here and type in the word grad. And as a result, it's beautifully, like it queries out everything for you right now, but everything is not end yet. But we're gonna go ahead and go on to the next step, where you're gonna join the two tables together. And based on, the problem, it's asking you to list the program name, so you know exactly that you're gonna join the two tables right here based on their program name, because pretty much these gonna be the things that you're gonna use for calculation, and this is not related to anything in here. So the only thing that's left to be, to be linked together is gonna be the program name. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the query first, where I go ahead and type in the name of the two tables. So I'm gonna go ahead and do under prg underscore name equal to grad dot prg underscore name. And when you finish joining the two tables together, the next step that's going to be is that you're gonna have like assign the data type for that, or filter out the data type for that particular table. So for example, right here, for undergrad, you're gonna filter out the data type for PhD type. It's gonna be undergrad only, and for graduate, it's gonna be only like a G for PhD type. So in order to do that, I'm gonna go ahead and show you the queries, which is gonna be and according to a table, I name it under for undergrad. So I'm gonna go ahead and type in under dot phg underscore type, and it's gonna be based on the information right here, it's gonna be U, and it's gonna be case sensitive, so U. And I'm gonna do another N right here for graduate phg underscore type equal to G. So what this line has done is that it's kept filter out the data that you indicate for PhD type on this old table. So for example, for undergrad table right here, when you indicate PhD type SU, it's pretty much remove anything without the PhD type SU, and it's leaving you with like a order instance with the U PhD type right here. And the same thing happened to grad when you assign G at the PhD type, and everything that's left on the graduate table right now is just the data type related to the program type of G. And so when you're gonna go ahead and click on the run the table one more time, you're gonna see that the two instance of accounting is only left with one. And under for undergraduate hour, based on the undergrad table right here, is listed at 21, and for the grad, so the grad table right here for accounting is listed at 12. And but still, the final problem is that it's still asking you to display the for to display, the degree where the number of hours required for the graduate degree has to be less than the hour of the undergraduate degree. So based on this table right here, you're gonna see some of the major that fit with this description, and some of them, like is out of scope. So we're gonna go ahead and filtering out them by using the the SQL code right here. And until this point, it's pretty much everything gonna be really easy, because you're gonna go back right here and compare the two, like a program out required from the two tables. So gonna go ahead and do another n. It's gonna be grad dot p. I just gonna go ahead and php require gonna be less than under dot, and it's gonna be php out required, and I just gonna go ahead and run the query here. Sorry, it's gonna be under. So go ahead and run this query right here, and as a result you're gonna see that like the undergrad hours is gonna be higher than the grad hour based on the requirement that the professor requires us to do. And the final step is that you just need to go ahead and change the name of all the columns right here. And so after a brief moment of changing every names, I have the final result of the whole table right here, which fit perfectly with the requirement for question 14. And that's how you did question number 14. And I'm gonna go ahead and stop this video right here. And like I said before, I have already finished all the queries that is required for this problem. So if you still have some last minute question, please come to coding time tomorrow so that I can go through each of them and giving you some insight on how to do it before the deadline, which is tomorrow, Monday. So I'm gonna see you guys next time when we work on the second part of the project, and I wish you best of luck with the rest of the course. We still have 1 moment to go. Goodbye, and you guys have a nice day.